Happy New Year, everyone. It's the first day of 2016, and this is my first video. It's a test video. I may post it if it turns out pretty good, but this is Homestead Pilgrim. I'm on a pilgrimage to further my skills in homesteading and hand tools, black powder shooting, you name it. Just want to show you my first project that I finished. Used a bunch of plans off the internet from Homestead Craftsmen. Let me go ahead and show you more. So this was a very quick job. It is salvaged lumber out of some property that I own. We have 25 acres. We're building a house. Currently I'm at our existing house in a subdivision, but we have 25 acres that we are building a new house as soon as this weather cooperates. And on that 25 acres we have lots of woods, so I'm going to be building a pole barn. Shout out to Farmhand's companion, Gary Pa Mac. He's given me ideas for that pole barn, so I'm going to do that. I'm going to be making a small pistol range for 22 rifles for my wife and I to practice. But again, this is my first project. As you can tell, it's kind of a clamp design. It doesn't have the dumb head design like a German shaving horse, but this should do the job. Also, the legs that I did went to a friend's house and he turned them down on a lathe. Again, it's all salvaged wood out of a shed that I have on my property, and the problem is I didn't use the bevel gauge for the legs, so I recommend using a bevel gauge for the legs. These are the shaving horse legs here, and as you can see, I did not taper them. They're just straight in. The holes were not lined up, so you know, this is my first attempt. All I really wanted was to get a shaving horse that could be used to create my log Peavey cant hook, because when they build the new house they're going to be taking out a lot of trees, and I got to get a Alaskan mill that I'll use to make my own lumber for the pole barn and other projects. So just wanted to show everybody this. As you can see, the foot pedal clamps down on the piece of wood here. Alright, I used a eye hook for the clamping mechanism right here. Okay, as you can see, these legs aren't that great either. I used oak dowels that were drilled about an inch or so into the pine wood, so this turns. Made a V-notch that'll hold the wood. I put some leather on it. As you can see, it's kind of tight, but the leather stitching, some screws to secure it, and I just have a little splitting wedge in there as a wedge. So that's it. Just needed something utilitarian so that I could create my log Peavey hook handle. Okay, just a little addendum here. As you can see, that's a old style Peavey hook, and I have a anchor bolt that I'm going to use as the spike, or basically the cant hook, and I think that'll work pretty well. I had to get a large anchor bolt so that it'll fit all the way down into the collar right here for a better leverage whenever I move heavy logs. It's going to be used for very heavy logs. But I found this Peavey hook in one of the sheds on our property, and it was all rusty, so I went ahead and used a grinding wheel and a wire brush. I made sure that was cleaned up, and I put WD-40 on it, so everything should be good. I'll continue to saturate that with WD-40 so it doesn't ever rust. But I got to make the handle now, so I'll update you when I'm done with that. Fun, fun, fun. Okay, it's the next day. Pretty much finished the log peavey handle and the log peavey itself. As you can see, went ahead and put on the collar. Had to use a chisel. This diameter here is 2 inches. This is about 2 1/4, and I kept the handle itself pretty much, bigger than 2 inches, and you can probably see that it's egg shaped, so that it has this level is this direction is wider than this direction, because that's the leverage point, and I wanted to keep the grain this way, because that's what is going to be receiving most of the pressure. So what I'll do next is put on some stain, and as you can see, the bolt goes past the collar. It goes to about right here, so that should be pretty darn strong whenever I go to move the big logs and so forth. Made this handle up here just big enough for my hand, and again, this down here is pretty beefy. Also, I found on the land a big old, I think this is for a water pipe, large water pipe. It makes a really good bed for the clamp, so I can move that up and down, and it has a tapered end, so it's kind of out of my way as I sit down. Alright, some other projects that I'm thinking about doing are, again, do a pole barn. I also want to do eventually do a timber frame cabin, and many other projects. So hopefully I can, over the next year or two, you'll see more videos coming through. Signing off for now.